Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jonathan, and of course, Mark. We're here with another after show, and this one we're focusing on Bowl Mania. You know, the season's finally over, but now we get to have these fun bowl matchups, and this is really where it becomes more conference versus conference now.
Yep.
All these matchups, we'll see who gets the conference bragging rights, and then we'll also get on to we'll make some quick picks for y'all, get your bowl appetite going, and then we'll actually make some actual picks. And then we'll finish up with our predictions of the semifinals and the final and who we think is going to be this year's national champion.
So
All that
stay
being
tuned.
said, let's get started, Mark. So, to get started, what do you say? How about what's a game or two that you're really looking forward to that may not catch the normal viewer's eye?
Yeah, for me, that Texas-Mizzou game quickly caught my eye. You're talking about one of the top hottest teams in the SEC, the Missouri Tigers, who went on quite a tear there. Offense is really good. On the flip side, you got a Texas team who didn't have a bad year. Tom Herman, he's very much put the foundation there. And so that one could be a shootout.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with you. That one was one of the ones I have as well for this. It just, Missouri, yeah, ever since I lost to Auburn, though, we talked about it a week or so ago, Barry Odom was like, calm down.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. And we found out, yeah, it's definitely okay at Missouri. They've got their offense figured out. They've got their defense going as well. And then, yeah, you got to give credit to Tom Herman over at Texas. They've consistently just got better throughout the year. They've probably been one of the more consistent teams improving all year. So I do like the projection they are going as well. Great thing for both of these schools is they're in a bowl game. So that's more hands-on for the coaches to prepare not only to finish the year, hopefully, with a strong bowl game, but also moving forward in the offseason and getting ready for next year. So, moving on. So, another good game that probably wouldn't surprise most people is that Arizona versus Purdue bowl game. Both teams have great offenses. So, this one, I don't expect much defense to be played, but it might just be a fun shootout to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, Khalil Tate is worth tuning in for
For
just
sure.
by himself. So, interesting, Brom ended up making the decision to stay at Purdue. He had an opportunity, we think, to go to Tennessee, but he decided to stay put there. So that speaks to where the Purdue program is at and what he thinks they can accomplish. So great for him, and that should be a good matchup as well.
All right, so now that we've talked about some of the off-the-radar type games, what's a bigger matchup you're looking forward to?
Yeah, Ohio State, USC. By far.
Yeah, definitely.
Because those are two teams that you could have made an argument for being in the playoff. And for them to head up, this is basically them showing the committee that, yeah, we should have been in the playoff if they win this game. So USC, they finished well the last couple of years at the end of the season. So I look for them to compete in this game. Ohio State, they're coming off, they're Big Ten champions. So it's just weird for this to be the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to bring up. Yeah, that's what makes it seem greater is like, you expect maybe one of these teams sometimes to play a big Texas school in the Cotton Bowl, but the Cotton Bowl is one of those traditionally awesome venues that we're going to have this awesome matchup in. I'm just excited for it to be in this atmosphere.
Yeah.
On top of it being two great opponents. Go back and forth. We'll pick this one later. So we're gonna hold the suspense on who we think the game's gonna go. But yeah, this is another great game to look forward to. Another game I'm looking forward to is the Michigan versus South Carolina game. The last thing people remember from you think of them, you think of in the Outback Bowl a few years ago, the Clowney hit.
Davion Clowney,
you can't watch any bowl anything without seeing that being played over and over again. That hit. So I'm gonna look forward to that game as well. It's a very interesting matchup, to say the least.
Yeah, plus or minus that clip being played 5 times in that game, over and under.
How many plus?
Yeah, I think so too.
It might even be plus for before the end of the first quarter.
All right, well, let's get to some quick picks for these bowl games.
All right, sounds good.
Troy and North Texas.
This is gonna be a good game. The Sun Belt champs. I'm gonna go with Troy.
I'll go with Troy too. They beat LSU earlier in the year, so they had a good season.
Yeah, be looking for Marcus Jones to make good use of his punt returning ability in that game.
Boise State, Oregon.
Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting. We were joking last time. Last time these two faced, LeGarrette Blunt got in a little bit of trouble for throwing a punch on the Smurf turf. Let's say I really like what Willie Taggart's doing with Oregon. I'm gonna go with Oregon. It'll be interesting to see if he's coaching that game though.
Right? Yeah, he could leave, but I still like Oregon in the game.
Right.
Yeah. UAB and Ohio. UAB first year back in college football, make a bowl game. Not too bad.
Yeah, and I think they'll win it too. Put the icing on the cake.
I do too.
I really like them. They're playing good ball.
Yeah, I like them to win that game as well. Fresno State and Houston.
Yeah, this one I went a little back and forth, but I think the difference is going to be Ed Oliver in that defensive line, where Houston's going to slow down Fresno State, and I've got Houston winning this one.
Yeah, these have been two really hard teams to predict this season.
Yeah.
I think I've been on the wrong end of several of both of these teams' games. But I'm going Fresno State in this one. I think they did finish the year well. They actually came close to beating Boise State 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm going Fresno.
Yeah, I'll say it's good.
How about Wake Forest and Texas A&M?
Yeah, this one, beginning of the Fisher era, I like Texas A&M. This one.
Fisher isn't going to coach this game, but he is going to be observing practice and on the recruiting trail. So it will largely be the Texas A&M staff that's leading this one. I'm going A&M in this game, but I think this is going to be a close game. Wake Forest, they've had some decent games this year and competed in games that you wouldn't have thought would have been close.
Right, they have. But I think this will be good. There'll be another one of those will improve a lot with the extra time practice. But I still like Texas A&M and their skill makers. Christian Kirk being one of them.
His last game in college football. How about a battle of the Wildcats?
Oh,
Kentucky versus Northwestern.
You know what? This may be played in Music City, but I think I'm gonna go with Northwestern. They just finished games so well. They got 3 or 4 overtime wins this year. They just find ways to win games, even if it takes a little extra time.
Yeah,
So I like Northwestern.
That's important to mention because this one could be a close game, and so I'm going Northwestern in that. They've got the experience factor.
Yep.
All right, Iowa State and Memphis.
You know, this one is an awesome, high-powered Memphis offense, but I don't think they've seen a defense quite as good as Iowa State's. And Iowa State, their defense is really what gave them those wins early in the year. Did some really good teams. Remember, they shut down Oklahoma this year and TCU. So, anyways, move on. I'm going to go with Iowa State in the second one to get the win.
Okay, all right. I'm going Memphis in this one. I like their high-powered offense. I think that Iowa State could potentially undervalue them. I like for Memphis to get the W.
Okay.
All right, what about that Michigan-South Carolina game?
Well, this one, I really thought a minute. Michigan played really well their last game there. Corn came in and actually looked like a quarterback for them. And they gave Ohio State. They probably should have won that game. That being said, you know how much I like this South Carolina team. This is the last time they'll all be together. I think they'll get a good W.
Yeah, I'll give this one to South Carolina. I think they'll win it too.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our pick segment. We're going to give a little more analysis in these games. Texas Tech and South Florida. How do you see that one going?
This one was probably one of the more tougher ones to pick for me. I would go back and forth on it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like being in Birmingham, maybe that's going to feel like Texas Tech's not going to be as excited to be there, whereas South Florida team's going to definitely be happy to be in any bowl. And Quentin Flowers being his last game as a Bull, they want to make up for falling just short their last game and let him go out on a win. So I like Quentin Flowers and the Bulls doing it behind him.
Yeah, you think about what he represents with their program and all that.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going Quentin Flowers in this one as well. He is one of the most impossible people to stop in college football. Yeah. He's great with his legs
and in life
and with his arm.
Yeah, and in life too. As much as he's been through, definitely a role model for kids. So hopefully he gets the W and go out.
Yeah, go out on top.
Yep.
This next one was kind of tough to pick for me. Virginia Tech and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on this one. I really like Virginia Tech's defense. I think with the time off, they're gonna Josh Jackson's gonna have plenty of time to get some work done, get a little better. But at the end of the day, Mason Rudolph in this offense, it's gonna be. I don't think they'll be able to stop them enough, to be honest.
Yeah, give Bud Foster's defense credit. I mean, they do a really good job. But the types of offenses that Virginia Tech faces week in, week out, It's
Yeah.
not really the caliber of the quarterback play that they're going to see.
Remember that when they played Clemson early in the year too? That's a big factor in why I went with Oklahoma State. Was a big blowout. That they had trouble stopping Kelly Bryant and them. So when they faced these better offenses, they've not played their best, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph, he owns every record pretty much in the Oklahoma State quarterback record book. So I'm going Oklahoma State in this one as well. What about Stanford and TCU?
This one, Stanford, gotta love Bryce Love. Gotta love him. He'll finally be healthy. It'll be nice to see him play a healthy game. Even that being said, they're probably going to be facing the best defense I've seen all year. I really like this TCU defense, especially when they just have to focus on stopping the run, which is what they'll mostly be doing in that game. So I like TCU to win this one.
Yeah, the good news for TCU is they're not going to be facing the quarterback play that they faced in their last game.
Right.
So for that fact, I like TCU in this one. Not diminishing what Stanford's done.
Oh,
I think
no.
they had a decent season too.
Mhm.
But you mentioned this game is also played in Texas.
Yep, it's the Alamo Bowl, so it'll be pretty much a home game for TCU.
I think it'll be a good showing from the Horned Frogs crowd, and their defense is certainly one of the best in college football as well. So
Yep.
I'm going TCU. What about Washington State and Michigan State?
You know, this one, it came down to the fact I like both defenses in this game, but I just don't think Michigan State's going to have the offense if Luke Falk and Washington State get moving the ball like they can. So I'm going to pick Washington State in this one.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell real quickly whether Michigan State is going to be able to compete in this game if they can keep pace with Washington State's offense. Also, Luke Falk, in the games that they've lost, he has thrown multiple interceptions. So if you see an interception early in the game, that might trend where this one will head. But
mention him to the bench.
yeah, at least for a series or two.
Yeah.
But I see Washington State winning this game. It's hard for me to pick against them.
Yeah.
Just because of their offense. And Michigan State really doesn't see this type of offense that passes this much
Right.
week in, week out in Big Ten. So do they have the players to line up with it?
Yeah. Well, this is one of the cool things about bowls, though. They'll have a few weeks to prepare instead of just a week. So, which always makes it a little more interesting. But yeah, I still like Washington State. Mike Leach is a genius on the offensive side of the ball. He'll have some new stuff picked up.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's talk about that USC-Ohio State game. So that's a big matchup. Who do you have winning it?
Yeah, this one, I really like USC in this one. I think this is going to be his opportunity. Darnold's going to have some time to really prepare for what he's going to be seeing defensively. And he's going to like what he's going to see when it comes to that secondary at Ohio State. That's one thing, as good as the defensive line is for Ohio State, their secondary is a dream for an opposing quarterback of his caliber. I expect him to be focused, and he's going to be having opportunity to not only show the committee they got it wrong, but also the NFL higher ups and where he should be placed in the NFL as far as rankings in the draft. So I think this is a great opportunity for him to really shine. And then you got Ronald Jones to help him out in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a good point that you made about Darnold. I mean, the thing with him is he made a lot of money in last year's Rose Bowl game, right, against Penn State.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Ohio State hasn't faced a defense like USC's all season, more talented. They've been executing better over the last few weeks. So I like USC to win this game. I don't think it'll be very close either.
Yeah, I think it could look a lot like the Iowa game.
You think so?
It could. There's a potential there.
There is.
It's more like if Darnold. There's the side of that too that he may put too much pressure on himself, but the opportunity is there for him to show. He did it before in the UCLA game. That was another opportunity for him to shine against another top quarterback. And he got the win, even though he didn't play his best. Maybe that's something he thinks about. You know what? I need to play a little better this time around. Now that I have opportunity in front of the big stage again.
Yeah, and we'll see. Does he come out after the end of the season and Sam Darnold?
Yep.
So, yeah, huge opportunity for him in this game to make a lot of money.
Yep.
Washington, Penn State.
Yep. Well, first, before we get there, we need to declare he's not making literal money. We're talking about the draft and moving forward. Yeah, we're not saying they're getting paid. Okay.
Clarification.
Yeah. Moving on. But yeah, Washington Penn State. This one, yeah, I see a little bit opposite of the other. I think this is going to be Penn State's opportunity. They have the more playmakers. Saquon Barkley. They're going to be able to run the ball on well against this Washington defense, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Washington's defense did kind of get back to playing well on defense later in the season.
Right.
But you mentioned Penn State's playmakers. Can they stop those type guys?
Yeah.
Penn State has been very much under the radar. I think a lot of people have overlooked them after losing against Michigan State. But I think they're still a really good team. I've got Penn State winning this game.
They are, and it's just, I think, too, Washington, they're used to facing a lot more play and passing teams. But the teams they've struggled with have been the running out, grinding teams, and Penn State has no problem running the ball behind Barkley half the game. And they'll do it for a W and not think twice about it. So that's why I like them.
Yeah, let's move on to another game, Miami and Wisconsin. Another game that's got these two evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I think this one, when it comes down to it, I know Wisconsin struggled. They lost a tough one to Ohio State. There may be a little bit of a letdown there that they lost the opportunity to be in the playoff. But I think this will be a good opportunity to show that they're still a good football team. And they're facing a young Miami team that feeds off emotion. And Wisconsin's a team that they're not going to give that team emotion. They're very good. They protect the ball well. They run the ball. They do all the little things right. And they keep it a low, drag-out game. And those type of games, Miami struggles. Yes, hopefully they'll be a lot more healthier than they were against Clemson, Miami. But I don't see them bringing the turnover chain out much. And they need that chain to get momentum, to get excited, and get going. Because they are still a young team. I think this is a great opportunity for them to grow and probably learn some lessons in another loss to prepare them for the next year. Because I don't see them going anywhere in the ACC.
Right, yeah, they've got a lot going for them in next year's season. But Wisconsin, they've performed historically really well in the bowl season, and it probably has something to do with their preparation. But Jonathan Taylor had a great season. It'll be interesting to see what he can do against Miami's defense. Yeah. He got shut down in his last game against Ohio State, so I think he'll have a lot to prove in this one. But I'm going Wisconsin in this one. I like them to edge out Miami. I think this could be a close game. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to UCF and Auburn. Jonathan, I know where your heart lies, but what do you think will actually happen?
Yeah, this one I was we were talking about beforehand. Like, I even have a question mark right still. And this is one of those games where we both talking about we're not really sure which Auburn team's going to show up, to be honest. We hope that Kerryon Johnson's healthy, and a lot of the guys are healthy to play this game as far as that side of it goes. But where is Auburn going to be mentally? They were one game win away from being in the playoffs as a number 2 seed, and now they're on the outs, which it happens. But it's how I think some of it's how focused they'll be if they'll make a game. Because we both agree, if they don't come prepared to play, this Central Florida team is really good. And I think they've definitely got some great playmakers and are a great team that Auburn may struggle if they're not prepared to play this game.
Yeah, statistically, UCF has the best offense in college football, but it would be very easy for Auburn to overlook them and not come prepared. But I think Auburn will come prepared. Auburn has some critical seniors on their team, mainly on the offensive line, a couple of defensive players that have been a huge part of the success over the years. And I think Auburn will come out fired up, ready to play, and they'll beat UCF. I see this as another close game.
Yeah.
It could be exciting, back and forth on offensive type.
Yeah, I would say, we're bringing up too, like I mentioned earlier, the Cotton Bowl. This is a venue, it's a new venue, but the Peach Bowl is generally, there's been some great Auburn games in the Peach Bowl traditionally. I saw it was the 50th year of the Peach Bowl. It's kind of poetic in a sense the Auburn's one team in it, because some of the greater games in their history have been Auburn games. So the fact you think even Clemson was at 08 when Cody Burns ran up the middle to score a touchdown in overtime to win the game. that was most recent they've been there. It's just some great games.
Yeah.
So it's a good bowl matchup. So if Auburn does come ready to play, it will be a really good game. I think people are probably are still overlooking the Central Florida team as a national standpoint, but
Another interesting thing for this game, just quickly, Scott Frost, taking the job at Nebraska. How would that affect their preparation and their focus in this game? And
potentially his focus in prep.
His focus, potentially Auburn, maybe some of the Auburn assistants leaving to go take other opportunities. That'll be something to keep a look on before the game. Notre Dame and LSU.
This one. I'm gonna go with LSU. This one I don't really have a rhyme or a reason for it. It's gonna be a really good game, I think. And at the end of the day, I think I've seen LSU's gotten better throughout the year, where it seemed like Notre Dame kind of hit a peak and just going downhill. It's more where the two teams are trending, I think.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot of time in between this, but I like LSU in this game too. They definitely improved as the season went on,
right?
And competed better and won a lot of games against some difficult teams. So I'm going LSU in this one just because of where they're trending. All right, let's talk about the playoff.
All right.
So let's give our predictions. Georgia, Oklahoma, who you got?
This one, I'll be interested to see. There is some possible situations coming up for Georgia's defense. Two of their players after this championship get arrested for marijuana. So how will Kirby Smart handle that, considering the fact it's a playoff game? Will he prioritize the importance of that game and not hurting the rest of the team based on actions of two players? Or will he do the right thing and sit those two players for half the game or something, or even a don't starter? It'll be interesting to see how he handles that, which it's so early to know. But even if they were playing, I gotta give it to Oklahoma. I mean, when it comes down to it, when you're not sure about a game, go with the best player. And Baker Mayfield is probably going to be coming in as the Heisman, the best player in the country. So with that being said, I'm going with him. Plus, apparently the Georgia fans have got his phone number already, and then do that. So last time people were starting to get under Mayfield's skin, that usually doesn't work out well for that team.
Yeah, Georgia would be smart. Their fans need to not do that because that could fire him up majorly in this game. I think Oklahoma, their offense is so hard to stop, and Georgia, as good as they are on defense, I mean they will not have faced an offense quite that good in the passing game, and somebody who's that dialed in on reading defenses and that sort of thing. So I've got Oklahoma in this game. I think this has a potential to be a more than one score game, them winning. But Georgia, it'll come down to who's available in this game. If those guys are suspended or they miss time, that could be Georgia getting down. And what we saw in the Auburn Georgia game when Georgia got down was they made some mistakes that they probably shouldn't have made, trying to compensate and get back on top. So Georgia gets down by 2 scores, but watch out. Oklahoma could take over that game.
So yeah, for sure. It's definitely strength versus strength, but I think Oklahoma's strength's a bit more than Georgia's defense. They've got a good defense, but I don't think they're quite going to be able to handle Mayfield's offense. So
all right, let's talk about the other playoff game, Clemson and Alabama, rematch from last year's national title. Who do you see winning that game?
Yeah, this one's a little bit of an unknown. Where exactly will Bama be health-wise? Because if they're not able to play, if they bring the roster in that played Auburn, I don't see this close. I think this could be really ugly really quickly because the way Kelly Bryant moves that offense and runs the ball a lot, if their linebacker core is struggling as much as it has been in the last month of November, they're not going to be able to stop them offensively. It's going to be up to the defense to find ways to score, even possibly, and their offense to keep up, which I don't see that happening either.
Right.
This defense might be slightly better than Auburn's defense, and you saw how well Auburn stopped them in the Iron Bowl. And so I think it'll be a similar situation here.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama's going to be able to manufacture the points in this game
Right.
to keep pace, and I think Clemson's kind of on a roll on offense for sure, but their defense has been pretty steady all year long. So I've got Clemson winning this game. I think it's going to be pretty easy. You know, very similar to the Ohio State Clemson game last year in the semifinal.
Yeah.
I don't
Same
think
kind of situation too.
same kind of situation. I don't think it's going to be a shutout quite to the extent that we saw last year.
Yeah.
But I do see this as probably a 1-2 score game.
Yeah, I think it might be. What is it? I think it could still potentially be a blowout, but I don't think it'll be shut out like it was last year.
Right.
Hurts is too good of a player to not find the end zone once. Even the Iron Bowl, whether you want to call them a lucky that throw or not.
Yeah, there's some element of skill that you have to be able to throw that. All right, so that shapes up an Oklahoma-Clemson matchup.
That we agree on.
Do we?
On Oklahoma, Clemson being in.
Oh, okay, yeah, we do agree on that, but do we agree with that final output?
I don't know. Who did you pick?
I don't know. Who did you pick?
You know what, I'm going back and forth on it, but I'm going to go with Clemson defending their title.
Back to back?
Yep, back to back. They're playing, I think they're playing the best all-around ball of any team in the country right now. They're trending up, and they're getting better every week, but they're the best team that's playing the best offense and defense, and they don't make mistakes on special teams. I think they're best consistent top to bottom of any team in the country, and I think that's why they're going to win this game.
Okay, I mean, that's fair enough. I think highly enough of Clemson to see that happening.
Yeah.
But what do I think 4 weeks, 5 weeks from the national title, what do I think is going to happen? That's a tough call. But the way that Baker Mayfield's playing, I think he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. I don't think Clemson has faced an offense. I don't think any teams. I think Oklahoma has the best offense in college football. I don't think any team has faced, a better offense than that. So, in light of that, somebody who can keep pace with Clemson on offense, and it's going to come down to the defenses. I think Clemson's defense is better than Oklahoma's, but I think that Oklahoma's defense can make a play or two to win that game. So 5 weeks from now, I'm picking Oklahoma. I reserve the right to change my mind based on what happens and suspensions and things like that. But today, I'm picking Oklahoma.
Okay. Well, that being said, I mean, it's easy now, but you got to make the decision now because this is our last after show.
Okay.
We don't see the people again. We don't see our people again until after.
Might make a quick post.
Okay. All right. Let's see how it is. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. Oklahoma's the better offense in this game, possibly. Actually, I'll say they have the best player on offense. But the offense is maybe a slight edge to Oklahoma, but I like the defenses and special teams of Clemson better. And I like the level of play they're playing compared to their offense. So I wouldn't put Oklahoma's defense in the top 5 defenses.
No.
I would put Clemson's defense and offense both in the top 5.
Okay,
So,
that's interesting. 5 weeks from now,
yeah,
we can say that.
yeah, it's easy right now. Who's gonna stop us right now? All right, so we got those all picked up. So I've got Clemson repeating. You've got Oklahoma beating Clemson in the title game. It's gonna be a heck of a bowl season.
Bowl Mania?
Bowl Mania, yes. Yeah, so we did some quick picks and did some of our picks live for y'all. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a pick 'em like we did for the regular season, but just for all the bowl games. So we're gonna pick all those games, and then we'll see how y'all can pick them with us. See how we do. See how y'all do. Same type thing. We hope y'all take advantage of that. 'Cause we'd love to see how y'all think some of these games are gonna go as well. We thank you for your time. We thank you for watching our shows, watching our videos, commenting, even if it's just to make fun of us. It's okay. We were right and we were wrong plenty of times this year, and I'm sure we'll be more with all these bowls. So again, thank y'all for watching, and hope y'all enjoy the bowl season. Later.
All right, signing off.